K-State landed PJ Haggerty. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. Shout out to KSU_fan, who I saw had charted all of the rankings, like most popular portal rankings. And he was top 5 in at least 3 or 4 of them, and definitely was the highest rated of anybody that K-State's landed. I mean, higher than Coleman Hawkins, Tyler Perry, whoever it is in the portal era. Like, this is, I think that's a nice jumping off point here. Like, this is a big get, not only because I think, look, last year Coleman Hawkins was a huge deal, but Coleman Hawkins was one where we were all sitting around like, this is where, as wrong as I just looked with the Discord chat there, I said at the time, like, the Coleman Hawkins thing, just from a positional standpoint fit, like, it just felt like an awkward rotational fit with the roster with how many different bigs that you had. And then it was, well, Coleman Hawkins, can he play the 3? This makes a lot of sense. Like, K-State needs a bucket getting guard, guy that can handle the ball and go score. And they got it. So it's a much better fit. He's higher ranked. Coleman Hawkins, love him, great player, but he was like second team All Big Ten. This is second team All American.
Third team.
This is a very big deal. Okay, third team.
Yeah. No, if you think about it from an accolade standpoint, a statistical standpoint, a ranking standpoint, there is a clear argument to be made that he is the best transfer that not only that Jerome Tang has made, probably the just like if you take all 3 of those things into account, the best transfer Kansas State's landed across the board in either football or basketball, in my opinion. I don't know that you're going to find anything close to that. He was a second team All-American last year. He's the number 3 transfer in the country. Some spots have him number 2. I think number 2 and number 3 were the most common rankings for him. And, you know, we got a little bit of egg on our face too. I guess they can kind of dunk on us a bit because, you know, our last show, I think or maybe 2 shows ago, is titled, you know, Kansas State portal thing doesn't make sense. I think that was our title. And now it does, to be quite honest. And especially if they can go out and maybe get a big to kind of bring this thing all together, because now you have that ball dominant guard that you needed that can also score, that is also a top of the rotation player. Because we were kind of thinking like they feel like they have a lot of second and third options. Now you got your first option, and that settles guys like Bashir, Kostic, Nate Johnson, Marcus Johnson, whoever you want to name, into the exact role that they should be playing. So it makes the roster fit, it makes the rules defined and fit. We went from, probably stupidly at the time because we didn't have enough patience, saying this portal thing doesn't make sense, to now it does. Now, they had to thread the needle for it to make sense. I'll give you that. But they threaded that needle, and they deserve credit for it.
Well, I would still say, DY, I think I question in this era, taking a guy that's going to redshirt. I mean, I just don't think there's value really in redshirting guys. And so the Osei commitment still doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And I don't mean to go negative here, but
I guess to me, because I'm under the clear impression that their strategy and approach is to now carry more than 13, because I don't think they're done.
Well, they're not done.
Yeah. So if you go out and get Rapique and another player, that's more than 13. Then I think you can afford to redshirt Osei.
Yeah. I mean, yes. But in our defense, again, coaches smell great, look great, all those things. They're awesome. In our defense, we were operating under the assumption that I think was good information at the time, at least at one point this offseason, that they were going to have a 13-man roster.
Right.
And so if we're going under, hey, we know that the agreement was they're going to have a 13-man roster, and then you're doing the math, if Rapique is in fact on the team, which we believe he is, then I still would say with Cole, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think what's probably going to happen now is that they're going to push that and have a roster with more than 13.
Yeah.
Assuming Tyreek Smith gets his waiver, and then I still think they want another big. I mean, I think they're going to be targeting a skilled big type or a back to the basket big to fill out this roster as they look to finish it out. But, we said all along they needed a bona fide stud, and they get that now. And I'm not here to dunk on Coleman Hawkins, but the difference here is pretty drastic in terms of the addition. I mean, they're completely different players. Coleman Hawkins obviously distributing like point forward type.
But more impactful.
Yeah. I mean, Coleman Hawkins is a guy that's going to average 11 to 13 points per game and kind of distribute the basketball and impact winning in a variety of different ways. But to your point, DY, and to John, his ceiling was a third-team All-Big Ten player while he was at Illinois. And we're talking about a guy here who is a second-team All-American by the AP Press and was the National Association of Basketball Coaches third-team All-American, the American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, and the year prior in the American Athletic Conference when he was at Tulsa before he went to Memphis was the Freshman of the Year when he averaged 21.2 points per game. He was 15th in the country in scoring at Tulsa last year, the year prior, and he was third in the country in scoring this year. Like, he is a dynamic scorer and playmaker.
With that debate too, I think also it matters that he's a guard. I think you could just have, at least in college, I think it's fair to say, you can have more of a direct impact and affect winning more easily from the backcourt than you can the front court.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. It feels, I'm going to be honest, it feels a little bit redemptive to me almost for, like, you know, I wanted the backcourt dynamic scorer last year in Caleb Battle and felt like had that wrapped up. And this is why we were very, very, very careful, probably too careful around PJ Haggerty when we believed like they were legitimately involved and nobody was mentioning it, because we lived through Caleb Battle last year when it was there. I mean, basically, literally something was signed, sealed, delivered, but yet it wasn't actually.
I think they had a couple of those this year too. It's just, maybe that's the nature of recruiting now, but like, it is not a done deal until it's absolutely a done deal in recruiting anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were all pretty quiet on this for the most part, and there was a reason for it. I mean, in the transfer portal, you don't want it broadcast far and wide for a coveted player like this, you know, who's in on who, and, you know, they know who's got the war chest when it comes to it. And I mean, candidly, guys, I would say that K-State got a decent bargain here, and I'm sure we can get into that some, but like when you think about
maybe the bargain of the entire cycle.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the 4 million number being thrown around for PJ Haggerty on the day that he entered the portal about a month ago, and his father demanding he play point guard, and the 4 million number, and then Adam Zagoria's tweet that, and it sounds like this jives with what we're hearing, that it was a $2 million NIL deal plus around a $500K incentive-laden deal on top of that, so maybe $2.5 million all in. I mean, frankly, guys, that in this portal era where things are and money's being spent, that's a heck of a bargain.
Yeah.
He's not close to the top expensive player.